Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So first of all, let me start by apologising for taking so long to get this one uploaded and give you a bit of a backstory as to why. So I'm due to get my new eye fitting done soon, within the next few weeks. I've been suffering a little bit with confidence issues at the moment, but I did not want that to stop me from recording, and I really wanted to get this video out to you today because I do think that some people might find this really helpful. Oh, just in case you're wondering what's going on with my hand, I've got a bit of eczema going on at the moment, so I just thought I'd mention that. It's a skin condition that I struggle with, but I didn't want to put makeup on it to irritate it further. So basically, a few months ago, I did an olanzapine pros and cons video where I did 3 pros and 3 cons to taking the medication because it's something that I take and have experience with. So I've decided that today's video is going to be the exact same format, but all about diazepam. So I just need to start off this video with a little disclaimer just to say, yes, I am prescribed diazepam, but I am not a doctor. So you do need to speak to your health professional about this. This is just to help give you a little bit of advice from someone who takes the medication. And also, this is not designed to help with a come down from any kind of substance. If you take diazepam, say for example, if you've been taking stimulants, you're going to speed your heart rate up and then slow it down, which is extremely dangerous behaviour, and I would not advise that. This video is more for people who are looking to be prescribed diazepam for anxiety. So the format of today's video will be 3 pros of taking diazepam, 3 cons of my personal experience of taking diazepam, and then an overall conclusion. And just to make you aware, the dosage that I'm on, I take 2 times 2 milligram in the morning and 2 times 2 milligram at night, which is 8 milligrams per day. Most of the time, I believe that diazepam is prescribed for short-term use due to its addictive nature, which I will get into later in the video. But I'm actually on this medication long-term for anxiety. So I suppose this could be helpful for both kinds. So I understand that the side effects and things are going to vary from person to person. So this is just my own personal experience of taking diazepam. I've been taking it for around 3 years now. I think I've been prescribed it, and like I say, I take it in the morning and at night. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So pro number 1, it does what it's meant to do. It helps with my anxiety. So I can get a lot of unwanted / intrusive thoughts throughout the day. And coupled with the other side effects from anxiety, so like agitation and things like that, I can find it really, really difficult to conduct my days effectively. Now, what the diazepam seems to do is put a bit of a blocker on these thoughts and these feelings. So when they start to enter my mind, it's like it won't even go there, which has been a massive, massive help for me and a bit of a lifesaver, to be honest. Now, I'm not trying to say it's a magic pill that solves all my problems, because that's just not the case at all. But what it does is it helps take the edge off so that I can live my life effectively and without distress. Something that really helps as well, just a little tip if you are prescribed it, is if you're going to be going into, say, an anxiety-provoking place, maybe a new place, somewhere that's going to be really busy, take your medication with you as a backup, because honestly, it can be so effective when you're in that kind of situation. So pro number 2, it works quickly when needed. So what I always try and stick by as a bit of advice I was given is when I'm on a distress scale, and I'm on a 30 out of 100, that is when I need to take the medication. So if I'm really, really struggling and het up, sometimes I do need help, like say to get it out of the packet or to get me some water to have it with. But if I catch it in time, it is extremely effective and it does kick in very, very quickly for me. So if you look on the internet, it'll say it normally takes, I think they say it's about an hour for it to fully kick in, but I've actually found it works quicker for me in certain situations. So alongside generalised anxiety, I've also taken my diazepam before I've needed to get a blood test, before I've needed to get my implant replaced, and even before I had to get a cotton bud out of my ear. So I went into A&E the first time round without taking the medication, and I just completely freaked out and I was not able to get it done. So I went home, took the diazepam, gave it around say 20 minutes to kick in, went back and was able to get it done in a much more calm manner. So I was still nervous when it came to having the procedures done, but what it did is it just took the edge off those feelings and was able to help me relax enough, because what I do is I go tense when I get really nervous. It was able to relax my muscles, so I was able to go forward and get it done. And that's been amazing for me because it's meant I've been able to get some medical stuff ticked off that I'd normally really panic about. So one thing that I have learned though through personal experiences, if you just take this purely for recreational reasons, it's not really going to do anything. It's designed to be effective for when you're heightened and you're up here and you need to be brought back down to like a normal level again. So I think the best thing is, if you are prescribed this, just work with it and learn yourself how long it takes to kick in for you, because it will be different for different people. But for me, it seems the more stressed I am in the first instance, the quicker it actually kicks in and becomes effective for me. And pro number 3 is you can start off on a low dose. So I think this is actually really, really important. So for the tablet form, which is what I take, as far as I'm aware, you can get 2 milligram, 5 milligram and 10 milligram. And I've been on the 2s ever since I started. Like I said, I think it was about 3 years ago, and I've never increased it from there because I didn't want to build up a tolerance, and I knew that I didn't want to start on this medication too high a dose either. So starting on the 2s just felt really comfortable for me. I mean, to be honest, I'm really glad that the 2 milligrams still works for me after the length of time that I've been on it, because I wouldn't want to be overly sedating myself, you know? I still want to be able to just carry out my days as normal without feeling overly drowsy or anything like that. So that's why I was really happy that I could start off with such a low dose, and I'm happy sitting at the lower end of the spectrum in regards to dosages. So during the start of the first lockdown, my anxiety actually skyrocketed, as I'm sure it has done for a lot of people. I completely understand that. But I called my doctor and I asked if he could up my dosage from 2 milligram to 5 milligram. And they agreed to do it on the basis of, I think it was somewhere between 3 to 5 days. So just for the short term, just to help me out and really take the edge off. And I think it was to help get some rest as well. But what I'm really, really pleased is that they did not do this long term, because what I did instead of just upping the dosage, which is not the route I wanted to go down, was use other life skills that I've learned along the way to help me cope with the anxiety, coupled with the lower dose of the medication. So I found that by sticking with the lower dose, I'm still able to communicate effectively, still be fully lucid, and go about my days pretty much normal, would appear normal to people, unless I'm in a full meltdown mode, which is when it has a bit of a different effect on me, which I will get to in the cons part of this video. So con number 1, and I'm sure you knew this one was coming, is it can be addictive. So in the past, I've been quite open about this. I've gone through substance abuse issues, and I have overtaken my medication from time to time previously. I used to kind of be in the mindset of, well, the more the better. And that is just not the case at all. I completely strongly advise against this. All that's going to happen if you do that is you're going to build up your tolerance and it's going to lose its effectiveness. And I had to learn this the hard way. So I'm just asking you, please, please take what you're prescribed. You will thank me so much for that in the long run, I promise you. If you feel you're at risk of overtaking your medication, then something which I do to this day, and I'm 25 years old now, is my dad still leaves my meds out for me. So he leaves me out my daytime ones and then my nighttime ones. So I'm never at risk of overdoing it. So if that's an option for you, I would certainly advise it. Just make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. So basically what I'm trying to say is just please don't abuse this medication. If you respect it, it will respect you. So con number 2, and I think I've got the wording right with this, is that it affects your cognitive function. So what I mean by that is your speech and movements, or it can do anyway. So when I was talking about being in a meltdown before, one firm example I've got of this is when I went to get the cotton bud out my ear. So it seems the more irate I am before I take the medication, the more it affects my speech and movements once I've taken it. So in terms of the effects that it can have on me, if I've been really worked up before taking the medication, is so my speech can become slower, maybe slightly slurred at times, and also my movements. So like I feel like my muscles kind of completely relax, like maybe overly relaxed to a certain point. So say if I was walking with someone, I might find it hard to keep up, or if I was sat down, I might be slumped over a little bit. But the way I look at it is effective for me, and it does help calm me down. So I have to pick the lesser of two evils. The way I describe it maybe is just feeling slightly drunk sometimes, and that's only if I've been really, really bad in the first place. So con number 3 is that it can mask the root cause of your issues. So I would say that one of the main reasons that I've refused to take my medication in the past, now I don't do this anymore, I don't resist it, and I do take it when I need it, but in the past I used to say no, I'm not taking it, and that's because I kind of believed like it was putting a sticky plaster over what my issues were, so that by just simply taking a tablet was not going to actually help fix any underlying issues. But what I feel like now is taking medication coupled with therapy is actually extremely, extremely effective because they both work sort of in different ways. And when you put them together, it really helps create a better quality of life for you. So I do therapy now to try and address the root cause of where my anxiety is coming from, and any sort of life skills that I can use to apply, so that I don't always necessarily have to jump straight to medication as a first instance. So I have like other options available first. Because there's sometimes when I'm just so worked up that I'm not in a position to use the skills I've learned from therapy, for example. So it is a lot more effective for me to be able to take this medication, particularly if I'm in a situation where I'm at risk and I need to calm down very quickly. So I would say that yes, medication can be effective, but also if you could look into therapy to dig a little deeper into what these issues might be, then by pairing them together, that's probably going to be your best bet, and that's what I would advise personally. The therapy that I personally find most effective is one called DBT, which I've done an entire video on. I think it is life transforming. I think it's absolutely amazing. So I would 100% recommend that if you are struggling with managing your emotions. So yeah, I guess what I'm just trying to say overall with this con is basically, you don't want to just have it as a go-to anytime you ever feel any kind of distress or anxiety or any unpleasant feelings. You want to also have some life skills in place so that you feel stronger and more able to deal with day-to-day problems, but then take the medication when it's needed too. So in conclusion, I would say that diazepam is extremely effective for anxiety. Like I said previously in this video, if you respect it, it will respect you. So it's helped calm me down from meltdowns so much quicker. It's helped me carry out my days with intention rather than just being a slave to my emotion, and has really, really helped take the edge off my day-to-day generalized anxiety and also any big issues should they arise and I need to take it and get a fast reaction and some relief quickly. So that's the end of today's video, and I really, really hope that you found this useful or helpful in some way. If you did, please leave a like or subscribe, because it means the whole world to me. And also, I've got some good news actually. So my friend got me a tripod. This is my first time trying it out today for this video, so sorry if it's a bit wonky or something like that. I'm still learning. But my next video is going to be a bit different, and I'm going to be sort of around about the house doing artwork and things, which I'm now able to do because of the tripod. So yeah, stay tuned for future videos, and like I say, if you found this one helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.